We aren't alone, and it sucks. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another random horror review. I'm your host, Mood3616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yeah, episode 62, and I've got another one here for midnight releasing for y'all today. Now, this is definitely not a horror film. This is more of a bona fide, straight-up sci-fi slash comedy, more just straight-up comedy type film. So the random horror review, not really too true today, but yeah. Anyways. Production from 2014 just came out on home media in 2016, and it is a film called, cleverly titled, Australiens, and aliens spelt like aliens. Yes. So basically with a title like that, and a cover like that, you know what you're getting yourself into with this one. But getting into the synopsis of this one, basically it follows your main character, Andy Gibson. In the beginning of the film, she has what you would call an experience with a spacecraft or an extraterrestrial machine or whatever you want to call it. And what it does, it kind of gives her like these weird powers and things like that, which you do learn later on in the film what exactly they are. But then it jumps forward about 17 years later. Now she's in a rock band, and one day, all of a sudden, Australia is being invaded by hundreds and hundreds of these extraterrestrial spacecrafts and stuff. And they don't really know why. The rest of the world is not going to come to Australia's aid for various reasons, which they do explain in the film. But so now it's basically up to Andy, her hypochondriac brother, her ex-boxer cousin, and her friend who's a documentary filmmaker to save Australia from being overtaken by these extraterrestrials, and also to save her mother, who has also been kidnapped also. So now it's up to them to figure out what they need to do, and yeah, that's the setup to your film right there. Now, my thoughts on this one, yeah, like I said, this one is a sci-fi comedy, which I would basically say it's more of a comedy in general, and it's a very dry humor comedy, if I had to describe it anyway. Yeah, the comedy in this film is very dry, in my opinion. It didn't really have me laughing that much throughout the film. There was a couple jokes and stuff that actually did make me chuckle, and one time actually made me laugh out loud. But yeah, what we're going to get here is, a lot of silly jokes and just non-stop jokes. Okay, to get to some things I like about this film, I really like Joe Bauer's ambition in this film. He's the director. He also directed a film called The Killage, which, oddly enough, I did actually review on this random horror review series way back in the day. I think it was one of the first reviews I actually did for this one. That was another horror comedy type deal, which I did like probably a little bit more than this film. But yeah, what we have here is Joe Bauer's ambition. I do like. The main problem is with this film is that it's way too long. This one runs about an hour and 51 minutes. Now, he's got some pretty interesting ideas here and stuff like that, but this one just really suffers from being way too long. A lot of dialogue, not enough action, and just a lot of really dry humor that isn't for myself. I'm not saying it's not going to be for you, but this one ultimately is very tedious to watch due to the fact that it's got that humor where you're just like, okay, let's kind of move on. Yeah, this one really could have benefited from being shortened up quite a bit. I just feel like there's scenes in this film that just keep running on and on and on. Like, there's a scene in the film where the characters are trying to figure out if one of them's an alien, and they're kind of going through the motions, and it's quite obvious that who actually is the alien, and it's one of those type comedies where they just, the obvious they're just not recognizing, but it just goes on way too long. It's certain things like that. But get more into the things that I did like about this film. I really did like the effects. The effects in this film are fantastic. I just wish there was more of them. Really liked the look of the aliens. The computer-generated alien look that they had was fantastic. Another big gripe I had with the film was the fact that they just didn't use enough of those computer-generated alien looks. At times they kind of flipped to the human ones who were just painted up green and stuff like that, which I thought was kind of a downer and kind of a bummer to the film, because the actual effects that they used in this were very well done. Even the spacecrafts and the explosions and things like that, they look really good. I will give them a lot of credit for the very ambitious effects that they put into this film, but it's just not enough in my opinion. But yeah, I think, you know, the acting overall in the film was really good too. I thought the acting, everybody did a pretty good job. Everyone was kind of on the same level. There wasn't really a lot of people that kind of stole the show or, you know, really lacked in the acting and stuff. But I think the acting was really well. But, you know, this one right here, even though it wasn't for myself, I think this could have an audience. I'm just not too sure exactly who's going to be digging this one, right? It's not a bad film by any means. I think it just suffers from a lot of kind of technical issues due to the fact of just, you know, editing. I think this one just could have been edited down and it would have been a totally different type film. Maybe not changing the dry humor, but yeah, I don't know. I think some people might dig that and stuff. But now another gripe I have with the film is basically the fact that, you know, this one does run way too long, but it also takes a long time to get to the third act. And what I mean by that is that there's all this development and stuff, and then we get some twists and turns, you know, through the third act. But I find the third act to be a little bit slow. It kind of drags. It just feels like it keeps going on and on and on, which is so unfortunate too, because I was expecting, since it had such a runtime, that, you know, it was going to have, you know, a really crazy kind of big bash, you know, third act and stuff, a lot of explosions, alien action, you know, things like that. But it's not really what you get. You get more of, you know, the explanations for a lot of things that are going on. And I feel like it was just kind of let down. So, you know, getting to there was very exhausting for myself. And I just really don't know what else to say about the film. It's just not a whole lot there. More that I really did like about it. Like I said, the effects are good, the acting's good, you know, the visuals are awesome in this, but I think it just really lacks in too much dry humor, way too long, and just not an exciting third act. I didn't really think the ending was over that great and stuff. So, yeah, if I had to rate this one, I'm going to give it about a 4, probably about a 4 out of 10. You know, I can't recommend this one because I really did not find it that funny, to be honest. I think that's one of the biggest problems. If you're gonna have a comedy, you probably should have it a little bit funny. There was actually one joke where they talked about a 3-legged dog named Footloose. It actually made me burst out laughing because I thought that was pretty fucking funny. Yeah, just not my type of humor, not really my type of film. But, you know, if you're still interested in it, give it a shot. I mean, visually it's pretty cool. It's just, it's rather slow at times. And yeah, so that is gonna do it for this review here. Yeah, I'll check you guys next week in episode 63. I have no idea what I'm going to be reviewing at all, so check you guys there. And as usual, peace!